One thing that myself and, well, really all new artists struggle with is how to sell your artwork. My biggest piece of advice is don't start trying to sell your work. If that is your aim, then just give up now because you will not enjoy the process. What you need to do is start by creating something that you love, something that you can put passion and time into, and something that will develop and grow as you get better and better. Before you even think about selling art to anybody, there are two things that you need to do. The first is, how are you going to portray yourself in the art world? And the second is, who is your target audience? So we'll start with number one, and what I mean by portraying yourself in the art world is how or what are you going to sell? Is it going to be big original pieces? Is it going to be small prints, lots of reproductions? I don't necessarily mean what media you're doing, because you can work that out all for yourselves, but you need to think, are you going to be trying to sell lots and lots of small little things, or very big, very expensive original pieces? The second thing that you need to think about is, who are you selling those things to? Who is your target audience? If you just try and target everybody, you won't make many sales. Whereas if you can specify who you are trying to sell to and focus all your marketing and focus all your creations on that particular target audience, you will sell more artwork. You need to be consistent with your work. You don't want to be creating very, very high priced items and then very, very low priced items. You don't want to target very expensive audiences and then very average priced, less expensive audiences, because it just devalues your work. Pick a topic, pick a target, and stick to it. Don't try and sell lots and lots and lots of things. So when I first started out painting, I didn't really have a particular style. I mean, I still don't really have a particular style, but it's a little bit more controlled now. I didn't have a particular focus in what it was I was painting. Now it's wildlife, obviously, but before I was painting still lifes, I was painting landscapes, I was painting portraits, animals, abstracts, all sorts. And I was just going around showing all these different works, and I didn't really have a theme for my artwork, and all of my artwork was different. If you held two of them next to each other, they might not have even been from the same person. And if you are starting out and wanting to sell your art for a decent amount of money and earn a living, you have to develop your own niche and your own style and stick to that style. Don't let what's selling on Instagram or what's current in the news or trending, don't let that determine what you create. Instead, create what you want to, and there will be people out there who will buy your paintings. It's much better to have 100 followers who are all going to buy one painting because they are really interested in your work that you are creating, than doing lots and lots of random pieces, having hundreds of thousands of followers, but there's actually only 10 people who are interested in a piece of work. Then you need to think about, where are you going to sell your work? Is it going to be online? Is it going to be in physical galleries? Is it going to be through social media? And for me, I think social media is so good these days that you can just rely on social media and make your own website as well. Galleries, I've had some bad experiences with galleries personally, and I don't really recommend trying to sell through galleries unless you've got a consistent set of work where each piece is the same style and the work is all to an equal standard. So if you're still finding your style and if you're still creating things that aren't necessarily going to be your best work every time, then I wouldn't even look at trying to approach a gallery. I would look at first building an online base through social media and through your own websites. So I use YouTube, obviously, Instagram, TikTok is the new one. I'm not very good at TikTok, but I do have a TikTok channel or page or whatever it is, I don't know what they're called, which is just Studio Wildlife Arts. I'll put a link to that in the description if you want to go and check it out. But yeah, selling through social media, especially as a new artist, is just such a good way to get access to hundreds, if not thousands of people. The final tip is about pricing your artwork, and this is one of the biggest questions that I always get asked: how to price your artwork. And I could do a whole video about this, but I'm gonna just give you a few simple tips. Don't overprice your artwork. So look at people that are selling similar things to you, look at people who are selling things of a similar quality to you, and base your prices around that. Don't just base it around one really famous artist who is selling thousands of pieces for hundreds or thousands of pounds or dollars each, because they've built up a brand. They are selling themselves in that artwork, whereas you've not yet built up that brand. So you are trying to look at people that are a similar level, they are producing similar calibers of work, and you price your work based around that. But you also don't want to underprice your artwork. So if you are producing work that is of a better quality than your peers, people that are creating similar things and doing the same thing in your niche, then feel free to charge more. Show that you are creating quality work, but don't go overboard and don't price too high before you've built yourself up as a brand. Most people, when they're spending thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars on artworks, they're buying it because of the artist that made it, not because of the particular piece itself. That's especially true with contemporary works. A lot of people that are buying these contemporary works for millions and millions of pounds, it's not because they are good pieces of work, it's because they are made by a famous artist, and it's the artist that is causing that price to increase, not the artwork itself. So don't try and inflate your work when you're just starting out, when you don't have that following, when you don't have hundreds of thousands of collectors worldwide, because it just won't work. Price your work for the level you're at and also the audience you're trying to reach. If you are trying to improve your artwork and you are trying to get better to make a living, why not check out this video here? It'll help you and show you why I paint every day and how that helped me improve my artwork and my painting skills, and the things that you should take away from trying to paint like that and improve your artwork.